Welcome to the Pod Bay Door.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. This is the Pod Bay Door. You can join us every Tuesday for info and opinions on the newest tech, movies, games, and, of course, insider information, history, and maybe even some crazy secrets about our home, Las Vegas, Nevada. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. You can find us on iTunes podcasts at the Pod Bay Door. Our YouTube channel is the Pod Bay Door Podcast. Or find us on any of your favorite podcast apps. And hey, if you get a chance, subscribe to us and give us a review on your favorite podcast platform. We really appreciate that. Coming up on this episode, 6 surprisingly illegal acts in Las Vegas. Nude Cycling in Nevada. That's for you, Adam. And why Elon Musk is on the side of the machines. And, of course, Topless Report, Nerd Alert, Gear Grinders, and Area 52. For Adam, this is Jamey. Welcome back, man.
What's going on?
Adam and I were not stuck, I'll say, but we were working hard over at the JCK conference, which is one of the giant conferences here in Las Vegas. It was anything and everything to do with jewelry.
Yes.
So
exciting.
Yeah, so exciting it was. And now I'm editing tons of content. So it's my favorite thing right now. But hey, our guest this week is Randee Dalton. Welcome, Randee.
Hello.
Hi, Randy.
Randee is the general manager of the Showcase Theater on Las Vegas Boulevard. We're going to get the inside information on what it's like to run a movie theater in Las Vegas, how she deals with all the constant weirdness that is the Strip, and some stuff for all you nerds out there as it regards movies and movie theaters. So thanks for being here, Randee.
You're welcome.
Hey, a big thank you to our new listeners in New Hampshire and Michigan. Love to see you guys out there. And hello to everyone north of the border in Canada. First listeners there.
Nice.
So very excited about that.
We're going to have some random people to pop up.
I know.
It's always cool to see. I like it.
It's fantastic. So hello to you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate everybody out there. And hey, keep those comments and show suggestions coming in. We love them all. I got a couple for you today. TT Girl LA wrote off of Podbean. Quote, love the podcast. Not one, but two loves, so that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. But you guys need to talk more about girl tech. Not quite sure what you mean there, TT Girl,
Perfect.
but
It's
what is girl tech?
like a girl guest on.
What like a
enlighten us on
like
what
a
exactly that may be.
tampon speed loader? What are we talking about?
I wouldn't be certain, but I definitely wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not quite sure what she means by girl tech. You know what? We'll look that up. If there's anything, you put in girl tech in Google and it
just comes up with the other.
Well,
regular
no,
tech.
you got to be careful.
Is it like adult stuff?
Yeah, it was adult stuff. But we'll look that up, girl tech, and I don't know. Maybe there's this Hello Kitty app out there.
Sure. You don't have any of that, Randy?
No, unfortunately, no.
Nah.
I skipped that
stage
of my life.
You're too cool for girl tech.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go. But we'll look that up. But thank you very much for the compliment. Film Buff 9, again from Podbean, wrote, "What's the art film situation in Vegas?" Well, it's crap. You're not going to see very many art films. We do. I know the college, the University of Southern Nevada, that they have art films there at the theater there.
Sure.
Wow. Off the top of my head, unless it's a widely released art film, I don't know that there's a dedicated art film complex. Randee, do you have any?
Well, Colonnade and Village Square.
They say Village Square, right?
Yeah, they tend to show a little bit more art house, but it is more mainstream art house than it is like something you'll find in New York, LA.
They have like a huge like Filipino market at Village Square. They have all kinds of foreign art films.
Yeah. Well, we have an enormous Filipino community here in Las Vegas.
Sure.
Yeah, Village Square does really well with those movies. They sell them out all the time.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, generally speaking, to answer the question, not great, but we
have areas.
But we have areas, and I just learned something, so that's fantastic. But guys, keep those comments coming in. We love them. We'll grab them out, and we'll find the answers for you. It's a Topless report. Where are they naked now? Where are they naked now?
All
right.
It's a good question.
All right. Well, I did some research because this is it started off being a just a fun little extra, but it got to be popular, so we'll keep going with it. The Welcome to Vegas sign flash. It actually is a thing. I found it.
It's like the limo flash thing you brought up.
It's a limo flash thing. Yeah, we got a whole flash system here apparently. It's not guys, it's all girls. Thankfully.
If you missed it, Randy, last episode we had talked about the limos and how the girls would pop out of the sunroof and do the flash on the strip.
Well, of course.
Yeah, it's like a ritual or something, right? So in this case.
Yeah, it's the Welcome to Vegas flash. It's a thing. They now have apps that are games that you flash in different areas. One of which a major point scorer is the Welcome to Vegas sign. So you flash it out and get some points, and I don't know.
Upload a picture of you flashing?
Well, you flash a Pokemon character, and if you get to keep him. I don't know. But the Welcome Sign Vegas Flash. Check it out there.
It's always busy over there.
It is always busy.
Always busy.
Yeah, I drive by it going to and from work. So
5
days a week.
Thank God they put in like new ways to get in and out over there, so it's a little bit easier. But
unless you're tired leaving one of the casinos from work and you don't see the guy stop in front of you. Yeah. And then secondly, the more nudity in Las Vegas. Randy, as you know, nudity explosions. We look for both of those. Or for me.
Well, of course.
So there's no art house films in this part.
He's going strictly for the Michael Bay.
That's right, Michael Bay. Yeah, it didn't ruin my childhood. Nude Cycling of Red Rock Canyon.
Nude cycling.
Nude cycling. This is not a thing because you'll get arrested. But it is apparently a very quiet, stealthy ninja once a year annual biking.
Oh, it's like an annual event?
Yeah. And I can imagine. And 17 miles.
I don't know how that could be very stealthy with a bunch of naked people.
Yeah.
Is this like full naked? Because that seems rather uncomfortable.
Nudist. Right. Well, it is, yes.
It's uncomfortable riding a bike with clothes, let alone.
Yeah. Let alone for like 17 miles.
For those of you who don't know, Red Rock Canyon is very close to us, about 40 minutes away. Beautiful, beautiful natural area, and it's federal land, it's BLM land. And there's once you get in with your car, it's 17-mile loop that is, you can't get out. Once you're in, you got to go all 17 miles. And they annually, apparently, bike completely nude, all 17 miles. Now, Randy brings up a good point. It's not only bikes are uncomfortable in general when you're clothed, right. But being nude it's
a whole nother challenge.
Yeah, and sweaty and nasty. And after those 17 miles, I don't want to see these.
You
people.
Never use that bike again.
Yeah, trade in the bike for sure. But apparently this is an annual thing.
This happens.
Man,
what's this race called? Do you know?
No.
I'm just curious.
No, there was no. They didn't.
This is on the down low, so there's no. Like Fight Club. You can't talk about it.
I did catch some threads though. There were a lot of threads talking about it, but they don't have a website. Obviously, they can't promote it,
right?
Because it's not legal at all. But I just thought maybe it was something for Hal.
Well, all right.
Hal can do it.
We'll have to look it up.
Yeah, send Hal out there. We'll do it. Well, Adam, it's time for the Dirt Alert. You sent me some cool stuff.
We got some interesting things. We'll start out with Marvel. It's partnering with Freeform, and we mentioned in the last couple of podcasts they picked up Cloak and Dagger as one of their new shows. Right. Now they've picked up the new Avengers. The New Warriors. And that's starring Squirrel Girl, which everybody is like. Loves apparently.
Gung-ho about?
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it until everybody got gung-ho about it.
Yeah. All of a sudden she was like super popular.
Yeah.
And Anna Kendrick was like, I want to play this character. And now there's...
Well, I like Kendrick.
Yeah.
Now, Squirrel Girl, is she a standalone? Is she a solo? Or is she comes from a group?
She's part of the New Warriors, which is...
That's the only place she's appeared?
I think so.
Okay. And
I'm sure she's had some solo stuff. But
and why is Squirrel Girl popular? Don't tell me because she's gay or this or that. Is it just because she's cool?
It could be in Freeform now that they could check off some of those boxes.
Yeah, because Cloak and Dagger is just a bunch of damaged, drug-taking people, kids.
Could be.
Yeah.
Squirrel Girl, I don't know. She controls squirrels with the power of her mind, right?
Yeah.
She's like super athletic or something. I don't know. But this one's going to be like full-on comedy. So there'll be a new...
like The Tick.
It'll
Really?
Yeah, it'll be a new venture for Marvel. And apparently, this I didn't know was Freeform is actually a subsidiary of Disney.
I didn't know that at all.
All these kind of.
I've only watched one thing on Freeform, and I didn't realize it was a content production area, and it's the comedian Eliza. And she had it wasn't a great show, but she's fun. But I didn't realize what Freeform was.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
Interesting, right?
And when does that come out?
No
release
date yet. So,
but Kendrick,
casting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll see. She's been, kind of promoting it and saying that she wanted to be that character. So it would be smarter than to pick her up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Very nice.
She's
Very
it
nice.
girl right now. So.
Right. Yeah, I think so.
Well, yeah, with the singing and the tweens, they love her.
Oh yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Great stuff. So next off, want to jump into some video games. Kickstarter projects are always kind of on the lookout for me, and this is one of the bigger ones that have been passed, I guess, or whatever. This one's Shenmue 3.
Okay.
Shenmue was a huge game on Dreamcast. I don't know if you happen to have played it or heard of it.
Oh,
yeah,
good Lord,
Dreamcast.
Anyway, this first game, Shenmue, was one of the most expensive games ever produced at the time, at somewhere between $50 and $70 million.
Oh, wow.
That included a little bit of the second game as well, but it got ported over to Dreamcast and was huge there. And the guy that created it just got the rights back from Dreamcast, so he put up this Kickstarter for the third one, and it's made $5.5 million already on Kickstarter. So they're pushing that one out. Unfortunately, it's been delayed until the end of next year, because the producer said he found some new tech, and it'll help him create better facial animations and all that kind of stuff. So it's been pushed back, but big game and a huge Kickstarter. So looking forward to that.
That's amazing. I mean, we've talked about Kickstarter a lot on this program, and I've not experienced it as a content producer, but to raise, I know obviously it wasn't 5 million in ones,
right.
But it's amazing that they raised that much over crowdfunding. That's amazing to me. Now Dreamcast is that's a dead platform, right?
It is.
It's gone. Okay.
Yeah. It came and went. It was very popular for a second, but I don't remember the specifics, but it kind of disappeared real fast.
I think it came out around the same time as N64, and that one was
kind of blew up.
That blew up and took over.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, good stuff. Kickstarter, man, is a really good way to promote some of these new upcoming, projects.
Well, they're doing it with movies now. Rob Zombie's last one, 31. Terrible movie, but it was all funded through Kickstarter.
Nice.
Well,
so and he's got the name, that he can back it, and
that was a lot easier to get funding for it.
Yeah, and then a favorite of ours, a favorite of guys around the world, around the country, Blue Mountain State.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they funded the last. I think it's going to be the last one.
Yeah.
But they kickstarted
a. They kickstarted another movie.
The what is it? Rise of Thadland.
Oh yes, that was classic.
And that was completely Kickstarter.
Yeah. And so was Super Troopers 2.
Yeah, Super Troopers 2.
Yeah, Super Troopers 2.
That will be coming out that way.
And then speaking of other troopers, Starship Trooper has I think it's direct to DVD Kickstarter movie coming out that's all animated.
Yeah, the cartoon. It's actually Regal's doing with Fathom Events.
Oh, okay.
In August, they're doing 2 shows.
Yeah.
Nice. In the theater?
Yeah, in the theater. I forget what day it was, but it's in August. 2 shows.
You gonna catch that?
Day. Well, of course.
I know you're a Super Troopers fan.
Yeah, I got to.
Oh yeah.
Is it gonna follow Rico?
Yeah, it's Rico, and actually Carmen's coming back, and Dizzy.
Is this gonna be like before the first movie ended?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't beat the first one though.
It's classic.
Well, of course not.
The second one was terrible, and the third one was actually pretty good.
Yeah, the third one was a lot of fun. They got the suits in it from the book, so
I got
that was good.
Now was Clancy Brown in it? He was the drill sergeant in the first one.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, okay. He's great. In fact, Clancy Brown does a lot of voiceover work. He's in that show. I know that voice. Yeah, he's fantastic. Yeah. He's fantastic.
Nice.
All right, Elon Musk. I want to ask you, Adam, before you talk about why do we care about Elon Musk?
I don't know. He's a super smart rich guy.
Okay, but super smart. He's a rich guy, but why? I mean, he says something. Stephen Hawking says something, and obviously, but Elon Musk is a business person. Now he's a smart man, but I don't know why we care about Elon Musk. Do we know why?
Other than the fact that he's buying up all these kind of futuristic properties and maybe has a more advanced thought process into the future than I do.
Well, he didn't. His advanced thought process didn't work for Solar City. He got shut down by the government.
And that's where he bought him out.
Well, I know, but I'm just curious because I keep hearing Elon Musk. Yeah. Everybody, Rogan and Corolla and Hoover here, they're all talking Elon Musk, and I just don't know why everybody's adhered to his thing. However, what has he said?
So there was an article published in a magazine that said it was a new study that claimed that the AI the human race will be taken over by AI by the year 2060. And Elon Musk came out and said, well, it's probably going to be closer to 2030 or 2040 because of some sort of, a linear extrapolation as opposed to some sort of exponential,
Okay, now taken over meaning what?
Meaning like all of our menial jobs, our car production, our movie theaters.
Okay.
Completely taken over
by isn't half of it already taken over by them?
That's what I'm saying.
Most cars aren't actually put together by people anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's like we're already 50% there, right?
So and within the last 8 years, we stopped having projectionists. So.
I was going to get to that when we talk about the theater.
Okay, so you're not. You just mean that our industry will be taken over. Okay,
not like
Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton aren't coming in there.
Oh gosh, I don't know. That could be closer to 2060.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
All right, very good. All right. And Elon Musk says this.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very smart.
So if you combined Elon Musk and Stephen Hawking, we're either going to be completely useless or gone.
Yeah, we only have like 100 years left.
I see. All right.
Yeah, we're all screwed.
All right. Do you believe that? Do you believe AI is that powerful?
I mean, I'm part cyborg already, so
I know.
Give it 30 years. Yeah, we're going to be like full on, robots ourselves.
We're already screwed now, so...
That's true, but as we know, even cyborgs have a problem. When you beep, you got to go in for a check. So they're going to need somebody.
It's not perfect yet,
Right. All right.
I want to put in one little side note that E3, big entertainment and video game conference, starts today.
Okay. And where is that?
I'm sure it's out of California.
No, it's not here though.
No, it's not here in Vegas.
All right.
And we'll have more information. By the time this podcast comes out, I'll be done. But there'll be tons of video games we'll talk about next week.
Cool.
There'll be a lot of coverage.
Now, Randee, what do you think? We've talked a lot about esports and watching people play video games. What do you think?
I'm actually a fan of that. I tend to, at home, I read while my boyfriend's playing video games, and I'll stop and watch him.
Okay, but no, I'm not talking about watching your boyfriend. I'm talking about
Twitch, somebody else playing a game.
Yeah, you buy a ticket, you get a whiskey sour, and you sit down and watch a bunch of Asian kids playing a game.
I don't think I can do that.
No,
because I watched the the Street Fighter Championship not too long ago, and I was like, oh, okay, they're cool. All right, now I'm bored.
Yeah,
it's a fighting game. I can't really get behind that.
Right.
But
and what do you now? You mentioned Twitch, and I'll be honest. I didn't probably 2 months ago. I didn't know what Twitch was. Now I know exactly what Twitch is, and these guys now they're selling out. Used to be a core value video game player getting on and launching games, playing games, and it was a relatively closed circle. But what I hear they're starting to do now is they're starting to take a little bit of their popularity, and they're getting hard clicks in the millions, and now they're just doing nothing except buying or selling advertisements.
Sure.
Yeah,
and they clicks now.
Yeah. Yeah, so
just another way to monopolize
the
video game industry.
Exactly. But once again, in my opinion, the rudimentary thing that we have to keep an eye out is we are literally no longer needing to be near each other. Like, this whole thing doesn't need to happen. Randee doesn't need to be here.
Right.
She could have called in.
Well, we could have done it on
Yeah,
I could have done a call-in, sure.
I mean, we're watching now Twitch. We can watch people play video games from the comfort of our home. We're literally. It's going to be, what was that, WALL-E? It's going to be just us rolling around on these little hover things with big gulps, and we're going to be 300 pounds, and yeah. So I'm telling you,
we could have webcam this whole setup.
Exactly.
We don't even have to be sitting next to each other.
Exactly. So I don't know. Now, Randee, how old are you?
33.
Okay. So you're old enough.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Unfortunately.
So you're now. See, I'll give Randee the respect of saying she's not a millennial.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you on the other side?
Technically, it's 32.
Yeah, I was born in the 80s. So.
Yeah.
Well, so was I.
Yeah, but you were way too close to the 90s.
85.
Nah. Still.
No, technically, you're on the just a fine edge of a millennial.
Yeah.
And Randee is comfortably not. Although you're on the very beginning. Well, technically, if you take the generations, they say Randee would be mine.
Yes.
Right? You would be Gen X.
I would be Gen X.
Really young Gen X.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just crossed over the threshold, thank God.
That's right. And so Sam. So hello, Sam. We know you're a millennial. You're hiding.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks, Adam. That was really cool.
No problem.
Now, is E3 is a it's the jewelry convention for video game players, right?
Totally.
It's a giant thing.
Yeah, if
right?
there was ever a chance for us to get in that convention, that would be sweet.
Oh, I don't know. I've been to a Comic-Con. I've been to gaming conventions, and that's a lot of people, man.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, if you have agoraphobia in any percentage at all, it is a nightmare to be there. But Randee, have you been to a Comic-Con or a game convention or anything?
I went to WizardCon last year.
Okay.
And then I'm going to the one in a couple weeks.
It was amazing.
Okay.
The amazing
Comic-Con.
Comic-Con. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay.
I don't understand the going multiple days. Like I went one day and I was like, I'm pretty much
You're like, I've covered everything.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Unless there's a speaker that you particularly want to see.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Yeah.
if you have like 3 or 4 different cosplay outfits, I don't know.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
You're cosplaying, right?
I don't have time
Squirrel
for all of that. Well, now
Catwoman?
It's the new in thing. I'm not wearing Catwoman again. All right. That was 1 year, one time.
Oh, it was
Yeah. So
glorious.
have you how do you conjugate that? Cosplayed? Have you cosplayed before?
I went as a Catwoman for Halloween 1 year.
You did.
Yeah.
For Halloween or at a thing?
For Halloween.
That was
Okay. Well, that didn't count.
Yeah. No, I never
That's not cosplay.
cosplayed. You either got to go all out, and I don't have the money to go all out.
Right.
I'd rather spend my money.
Now,
on
how
other things.
about Renaissance Fair?
I've gone, just never dressed.
Okay. So
Yeah.
okay.
Again, it's
you're gonna have the money for the corsets and the dresses and the.
yeah. And I always figure my
Okay.
money's spent better on other
and
things.
it must be fatiguing having to speak like that. Like me thinks I need
Oh, totally.
some grog or whatever they say.
I guess the drunker you get, probably the easier it is.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
But
totally
see, I've
true.
been to a Renaissance fair, and I've mentioned this before, and it's like, you see the Renaissance people and the guys with the broadswords and the long axe, and then Spider-Man. It's like, what? No. Someone made a wrong turn on the freeway.
I remember last time I went to the Ren Fair, there was like an influx of ninjas and samurai and
Yes.
stuff, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
What's
but
going on here?
I guess it doesn't matter if you wanna do that. But all right, cool, Adam. Thanks for that. The Concierge Chronicle presents this week 6 surprisingly illegal acts in Las Vegas.
You mean there's stuff that's illegal here?
There is stuff that's illegal here. Yeah,
What?
yeah. 5 of them are in a movie theater. No, I'm just kidding.
We know them well. Code Orange, Theater 7.
Randy's got a punch card for all those.
No, of course.
All right, here we go. And these were actually surprising to me too. And this is not the full list. I have the full list. It's in a vault.
Nice.
I'm keeping that one because these are cool.
We'll pop these in.
And some of these are lame. Some of these some of these we know. Some of these people don't know. Number 1, catching a cab on the Strip. How many times have you seen those poor
Sure.
folks waving at the cab?
Yeah.
Oh, every
Right
day.
on Las Vegas Boulevard, and they cursing. They're like bastards, and they won't stop. Well, they can't stop.
Yeah.
They can't stop, and that's in fact, L.A. is the same. They just can't stop in the Strip. It's absolutely illegal for them to do that. And we have a taxi authority here, and they'll get pulled over and get their medallion number taken. So you cannot catch a cab directly on Las Vegas Boulevard.
It's too busy.
Go to a valet. Just go half a block to a
seriously,
valet.
You can walk to any casino valet.
Yeah, so no cabs in the Strip. Lap dances. Now, lap dances aren't illegal, but there was a huge controversy between the years of 2010 and 2012 where there was legislation regarding lap dances. I would have paid to be there to watch these guys talk about this. Because lap dances, back prior to 2010, the girls, everybody was allowed to touch everybody. So I can't imagine you've been to a strip club, Randee. but
No, she's totally innocent.
Of
but
course.
when you get a lap dance, back before 2010 in Las Vegas, the gentleman could touch the dancer. Now, obviously, you can only touch him so much, but starting in 2010, they said this is a bad thing. And legislation was passed, and that was it. No more touching.
Sit on your hands.
No more touching. No champagne room touching.
No touching.
No main floor. No candy on the main stage. No touching. So but it's actually illegal, not for the toucher or touchee, but it's illegal for the club. The club will get
Sure.
the worst thing that happens. You get your liquor license stripped.
And that's huge.
Which is death.
Yeah.
That's just death. That's the black screen of death for Las Vegas. Number 3, fireworks. That was an easy one.
Sure.
But
just go up to Moapa Valley, though.
Yeah, go up to Moapa, Indian Reservation, very close to Las Vegas. And then I love all the stories of people and the methods they used to buy all their stuff and then get it back in, because there's a line of a highway patrolman just waiting, right after the Moapa line. And but the fireworks in the city proper, in the Clark County, not legal in any sense of the word, except for the lame sparklers they sell at the gas stations.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you put about 70 of them together, they're no longer lame. It's kind of
well,
hot.
that's true.
You're talking to a what do we call it? An arsonist or pyromaniac over here.
Oh, I hope not an arsonist.
Yeah.
I know the studio's in trouble.
Randy loves fire, so fireworks.
Okay.
He's probably set off a few of those.
Okay.
A couple.
Yeah.
Now, have either of you been around anyone who has accidentally brought some illegal fireworks into the town and shut them off? Never.
No.
But
of course not.
But it was fun to watch, wasn't it? Yeah, Moapa has. Have you been to Moapa? Have you been to the?
I don't think I've ever been up
Yeah,
there.
I've been up there.
Okay, yeah, they have for those that don't want to break the law and bring them into Las Vegas, they have these really cool launching cement pads. You actually can rent those for like $5 and
just have at
shoot
it.
them
Set 'em
off.
off,
Yeah,
yeah.
set them off. It's actually kind of cool. Number 4, and this is the one I found most interesting. In 2008, this law changed. You cannot have a rental house that is rented for less than 30 days in the city of Las Vegas or the county of Clark.
Huh.
Because now I'm going to bring up a subject that's been brought up. That was very, very nice argument, but for less than 30 days, because basically what was happening is they were just making little party houses, and it was a nightmare for neighborhoods.
Sure, I was kind of thinking, like the beach houses, and people just come and rent it out for a weekend, or
Exactly.
or a week or whatever. And
Yeah, for
trash
sure.
the place and then leave.
But now, what's the first argument you guys think of? And maybe you wouldn't think of it, but there's a very prevalent new thing happening that is huge, that flies in the face of this.
Well, they get the Airbnb.
There you go, Airbnb. Now, what after the research, I found out that Airbnb is not considered a house. It is considered a lodging room or percentage of the dwelling, and that's how they get around it. So basically, Airbnbs are considered hotels because you have to qualify, you have to file and go through the app. It's not hard, obviously. Anybody can do it, but that's the reason why. So
they're thinking about trying to pass a law for that because now the hotels are upset with Airbnb
Sure they are.
because they're losing out money.
Oh yeah.
So there is legislation in about limiting the Airbnb in Clark County also.
Yeah, I can't imagine like Hilton, for example. They bought up all the micros. And we have there's some down the street from here, this studio, and yeah, they're probably pissed.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I got to tell you though, I wouldn't stay in an Airbnb. I wouldn't conduct an Airbnb, and I would vote against it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
Yeah.
It seems pretty random, just bringing in strangers.
But the two dudes that started it, they it was in their garage, as the standard story goes, just like Netflix and Lyft and Uber. And with an air mattress, and that's how basic kind of got its name.
Yeah.
They had 2 mattresses in a garage, and they let some dudes stay there and charge them. Sure. And then they started this. Now it's $1 billion business. But no, I'm against it. I'm against all that stuff because I just don't think that there's no oversight. I think Uber is dangerous. I think Lyft is dangerous. I think Airbnb is dangerous. And I've seen. YouTube is not the best news source in the world, but I've seen the people
seen the
that
bad
post the
stuff.
videos where they trash their houses.
Oh,
And they
okay.
have nothing to do about it. And I've also seen the videos, which scares me to death, which I got to tell you, I got some big friends, and this would never happen, where the Airbnb guy squats, stays for his Airbnb, and then squats, and then you can't get him out.
Okay.
Horse shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
of
got
course.
some big friends.
Yeah.
You're getting out. Because the law is apparently once they leave the property and leave the property line, they're out as long as you don't assault them. So I got
You
some.
just lift them over that line then.
Yeah, I got some Samoan friends that'll just lightly place them in the
That's right.
street. Yeah, trust me.
Real lightly.
Number 5, bath salts. Now, obviously, that the reason for bath salts, the methamphetamine and everything else, and everything that they make with bath salts. However, what I didn't know during the research, I found out, is Las Vegas, number 1 producer of bath salts.
Producer.
Yes, we had now factories, and they were legally. I mean, they were producing bath salts for people who enjoy their baths. But yes, number 1 producer of bath salts, and therefore number 1 or number 2, depending on which article you read, producer of the drugs that come from bath salts.
Huh.
So
Wow.
bath salts you won't see them on in
Any
fact.
shelf.
No,
Or casino.
CBS actually in Las Vegas was embroiled in a lawsuit and obviously gave it up because they kept selling bath salts. They said these aren't bath salts.
Yeah,
There's
it's
something scented. What do they call them? Scented crystals or something. This is ridiculous.
Just another way to get around stuff.
Yeah. So bath salts. See, Las Vegas still has an air of there's a haze still. The family thing didn't ruin us. We're still questionable. We're still questionable. And lastly, my favorite, I already knew this, hula hoops.
Hula hoops.
You cannot have a hula hoop downtown Las Vegas. Now, this is just downtown Las Vegas.
Anywhere on Fremont?
Anywhere in Fremont.
Interesting.
And this is because of the number of injuries, Randy. Injuries
Caused by
from the hula
hula
hoops. You remember
I
when you were a kid and drinking, you would hurt. No,
Fall down and
Well, I
skin
mean,
your
you
knee.
only use a hula hoop if you're drunk. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
There's no other reason.
No.
But
reason
this
at all.
was sparked by a team. Well, folks, if you've been to Las Vegas, go to downtown. You'll see all the crazy performers. They are unlicensed. They basically perform, but the rule is they cannot ask for money. That's panhandling, which is illegal. They can ask for a donation. They can be the drunken, dirty Pikachu, and they can stand next to you for a picture, and then a donation of $5 or $1 or whatever.
Yeah.
So they had all these, but they had a troupe of hula hoopists. They caused a problem because they occupied too much space, and so they put the kibosh on the old hula hoop.
Man.
Right?
Did the city said that?
The city said that, yes. Yeah, and
This
this
is
was recent. This was 2014.
Oh,
So
man,
yeah.
those crazy hula hoop people.
And nude hula hooping, absolutely.
Oh,
out.
man.
Yeah. And if you've been to downtown Las Vegas, you know why it's out. So what do you now, Randy? Do you we're going to talk a lot about your theater and your experiences, but do you have entertainers outside the?
We do, because I'm part of the mall that's on the strip, and
You've
they're
told me
actually they're ticketing them now.
Oh, really?
Because they're supposed to be regulated to Fremont Street, and so when they're out in front of the Coca-Cola World and M&M World,
Yeah,
they're
Hard
getting,
Rock.
Yeah, they're getting
Yeah.
ticketed now, which is fine because there's this crazy religious guy that's just constantly screaming about how we're sinning the world and we're all going to
Straight to
die.
hell.
Mm-hmm. Elon
So-
Musk.
Yeah,
okay.
basically. I'm pretty sure it is him out there with the megaphone.
Weren't you telling me one time that the guys would come in and get dressed up in their suits in your garage, right?
Yeah, they if you in the garage on Showcase, you can every once in a while catch some sights you don't want to see because they'll just get out of the truck and just dress right there.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
sure.
know, like Fat Elvis, he's got to
Oh, sure.
put his costume on. So
My favorite was
Doesn't have a
right.
dressing room.
Yeah, exactly. Was right next to your theater. My favorite is of all time. The sad, dejected, clearly under the influence, Gene Simmons.
Oh,
Look-alike. It wasn't Gene. But
Are
yeah.
you sure?
Well, no. Yeah. Now Gene's fine. He's here all the time. But no, that was my favorite. I used to see him, and it was just he had a rolling case, and he wasn't a good representation of Gene Simmons or Kiss at all. And it would be 8 hours of entertaining.
Yes.
And he was rolling down towards the parking lot. It was the saddest thing. At first you laugh, but then you realize, man, this dude is trying to make a living.
This is every day.
Yeah.
For this guy.
You know, and speaking of the welcome sign, we have entertainers there too. Although I believe, much like you said, they're regulating that. The welcome sign they always have an Elvis. They have a couple of showgirls. And a Big Bird, which I think is the strangest thing. Have you seen Big Bird?
Yeah, I saw it driving by one day. I nearly hit a car because I was confused.
Like, what?
Yeah, but you know, I gotta say, the Big Bird is a damn good costume.
Yeah,
it's well made.
Huh.
I mean, not great considering today we're having hurricane winds here in Las Vegas again.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how that poor Big Bird survives, but
A little top heavy.
yeah. So Randee, how long have you worked? Now you work for Regal Cinemas, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, but it's still called the United. Regal owns United Artists.
Yeah, back
They own a few now.
in 2002, they bought UA out, and we just never rebranded those properties.
Okay.
So
Okay. Now, how long have you been? Now, is yours called the Showcase Theater?
yeah, it's a UA Showcase 8.
UA
It's
Showcase
the actual
8.
name.
And as I said in the promo, it's right on Las Vegas Boulevard.
Yeah, we're,
I mean,
we're
it's the
right
only
behind
one
the
on the
heart.
strip.
Yeah, it's the only
Only
one
one on
that's
the
like
strip.
on the strip proper because you got
Yeah.
Orleans and Palms, but they're off the strip, and
Right.
then Town Square is too far away.
Right.
So-
Right. And you've been there how long?
3 years next month.
3 years. Now, how old is the theater itself?
It's 20 years this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The theater's been there 20 years?
Yeah, which will be a shock to probably every listener because nobody knows that
No,
place
yeah,
exists.
it's kind of in
Good
a little
Lord.
corner.
I remember, I was involved with, I can't believe it's been 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to pause there for a second.
We've all worked at Regal at
I
some point.
knew and was involved with, as a childhood friend, the guy who opened it. His last name was Ippolito.
Yeah.
Tom Ippolito. He's long gone, I'm sure, at this point, or I don't know. But I remember him discussing, that being built, and he was being moved over there from some other theater. I don't know. Wow.
Was it
Yeah.
was it the new hotness at the time?
You know what? They had wonderful plans, from what he told me, and they had all these different types of things. But ultimately, I think they didn't spend the money in the right places. And it was kind of a round, square peg, round hole.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It's really just stuck in there because it's the bottom floor of the garage,
Right.
and it's the only thing that's on that floor.
Yeah.
And up until 2009, it was actually a busy place.
Yeah.
Like we'd sold out Fast and Furious 5 in our largest auditorium, which is over 600 seats.
Okay.
But then 2009, between the Rave or AMC now being built, and then they built the Hard Rock Cafe right in front of our building. It lost
Right.
all of our signage that's
Yeah.
on Las Vegas Boulevard.
Really?
So now it's, unless you're down there, you don't really know that property exists.
Yeah, unless you know it's there,
Yeah.
there's no signage.
Yeah.
There's no arrows.
Yeah.
There's no marquee or billboard.
Yeah, we've lost all our proper signage, and so since then, it's just we're struggling at this point.
And I don't know if you've listened or know, I was a concierge at the Venetian for 6 years, and I have to say that it was the rare question, where can I go see a movie? Because the concept in Las Vegas, if you're in any other city, where's the movie theater? Because it's something to do. We don't need a lot of things to do here.
I know.
Right.
And
Plenty of shows to see.
And seeing a movie always seemed to me like oh gosh, you're really out of options.
You're killing time. On the strip,
Yeah.
right?
Our business really relies on the weather because, like, the windier, the rainier, the hotter,
Mhm.
people are going to come in because it's basically they're paying 2 hours of air conditioning.
Sure.
And we are still the cheapest option on the strip because, you can put $20 in and lose it in 5 seconds.
Right.
You spend $20, you get to watch a movie for 2
Yeah, at
hours
least
of
2
air
hours of
conditioning.
entertainment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, that makes sense. Considering, there's people queuing over on the street every day. Here when it's
Yeah.
hot, especially now. Now, you may or may not be able to share this, but I know that there's a decision coming regarding its lasting nature here in Las Vegas and the efficacy of having a theater at all.
Yes.
And so are you still, obviously you're the general manager and it's kind of your baby.
Yes.
Are you do you agree though that there's at least the argument to be made that it's not a money making venture.
At this point,
Now.
at this point in time, without any significant modifications, I just can't see that being a lasting adventure. Just because, like I said, nobody really knows we're there. You don't know we're there unless you ask about it.
Sure.
So it's in need of a renovation.
Yeah, if it got a renovation, a little bit better signage, I think we'd be a more lasting thing. Because, like I said, we are the only one that's on Las Vegas proper. So you're not getting, you're not getting locals that gonna come down there, but you're gonna grab all those tours that want to spend 2 hours in the air conditioning.
Now we've talked about the casinos and many of them not actually being in Las Vegas. Is your address a Paradise address or a Las Vegas address?
Las Vegas.
It is a Las Vegas. Okay, so you're past the line. All right.
Past the line.
Okay. Now, obviously, there's people above all of our pay grades going to make this decision.
Oh, of course.
What upgrade would be first and foremost in your mind?
I actually think. Because the building is so old, I think embracing the oldness is the way to go. Because you're gonna get a lot of those hipsters in if you go back to being film and you embrace that the building is from the 80s.
Right.
I think that would be the best venture. But nobody wants to go back in time.
Sure.
So it'd be a full gut. You need to do recliners. You need to do 4DX. You need to get the bar in there, the expanded menu. It's gonna need a full everything.
So you're pretty lots of dollars.
Lots of dollars, yeah.
Okay, and
the rent there's pretty crazy, right?
The rent is crazy, but it is Las Vegas Boulevard, so you got to figure that rent's always going to be crazy.
Now, who are you renting it from?
The Showcase Mall Corporation. They're based out of New York.
Okay.
The mall is actually split up into two different owners. There's one owner that owns what they call Phase 3, which is the Denny's, the Hard Rock. There's a shoe store, there's a Ross.
Okay.
And then Phase 1 and 2, which is the theater, and then what is it? M&M World, Coca-Cola World, the food court. And so Phase 3 and 1 and 2 are owned by two separate companies, and they're based in New York.
Okay. Now, ultimately, is it going to be their decision or Regal's decision?
It's a combination of the two, because we have the option of renewing our lease.
Okay.
And then if we opt out of that, there's an option that the mall can take over ownership and hire us as a management company.
I see. Which
we do, because LA Live out in California is actually not our property. We just manage it.
Right.
And it's owned by the Clippers, because it's in their little area.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we just manage that property. So it's not unheard of. It would still stay a Regal in branding, but it wouldn't be our property.
And what would be your preference?
I would prefer, because I've never managed.
Keep your job, right?
Well, yeah, keeping my job would be great, but I've never managed a property before, so I don't know if it's different from being, from what we're doing now. So I would prefer if it stayed just Regal, because I know how to do that and how to run with that.
Well, I think I speak for this table here, the studio, that it would suck not having a theater on the I think someone would put one back on there, but I think it would.
Oh yeah, for sure, because we've closed down properties before, similar to. We nicknamed it the Ocho, but Galaxy over on Sunset and Sunset used to be at Regal, and it was a second run theater, so it was always playing old product.
Okay. We
shut that down. Galaxy came in, put about $4 million into it, and now it's one of the contenders in town for being busy.
Really?
So it's
still showing not first run.
No, they're playing first run.
Oh, they are playing first run.
Yeah, but they're all luxury. They got luxury seating, alcohol.
Okay.
The bar.
Okay. Yeah, I've yet to be to one of those. Is it pretty cool?
Yeah. I mean, nice. I've never been to the Galaxy, but we have our downtown Summerlin. It's recliners, bar.
Okay. And you can, so it's bar food, alcohol. Okay. Yeah,
all of our locations now actually serve alcohol, like beer and wine.
Okay.
And then there's a couple locations that do draft beers and mixed drinks.
I went to school, Randee, in Pepperdine in Malibu, California, and we used to go to Westwood all the time, and there was a theater there way ahead of its time. It was a theater, bowling alley, bar, laundromat.
Nice.
Okay, that's a lot of stuff in one place.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's for those college kids.
and I'll tell you what, every single time it was packed.
Well,
yeah.
Every area was packed.
Anytime you can watch a movie and do your laundry at the same time is a plus.
Right?
Got to kill that time.
All right. Well, Adam apparently is stuck on the world being taken over by machines. So.
Well, I wanted to get into the fact that when I first started the theater, it was all film. And, we'd get these cans of film and we had to put them together and throw it on a platter. And nowadays it's all digital. You get a download, push play. You don't even push play anymore, do you?
No, the projector does it all on its own.
See, it's all automated. So,
Yeah, basically all we do is they send a hard drive, we plug it in, I download it, and then basically I make an iTunes playlist.
Yeah, and then everything plays by itself. So,
Yeah,
so coming back to Elon Musk, he knows what he's talking about. It's going to start with theaters, and
Yeah.
He probably owns the hard drive producer.
Slowly but surely, man, our jobs are going to go the way of the robots.
Now, strangely enough, Adam and I have a similar background. I used to work at a theater as well, so I know very very much about building up a film and the cans and everything else. I actually found it kind of fun.
So did I.
I did. It was it was a lot of work on one shift, but you felt accomplished at the end.
Right.
Now I sat at the computer. 10 minutes later, I've built a playlist and I sent it. And the computer does all the other work, so I don't really feel accomplished when I'm like, all right, 8 hours, I've accomplished something.
Right. I remember putting together like Lord of the Rings, and it was like 13 reels long.
Oh,
right.
And must have weighed like 50 pounds trying to move it. But those things, that was awesome. I used to enjoy putting them together.
Or coming all the way down the stairs and realizing it was scope instead of flat.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And see, I miss that too because we don't really screen anymore.
Right.
We play the first 10 minutes of the movie just to make sure it downloaded correctly, and then we're done. Before you had to screen it because
you had to watch it all the way through, make sure all the splices were good. It was the tape in between reels.
Yeah.
Right.
Make sure nothing was gonna burn or
Yeah. Make sure Adam didn't put can 2 in front of
switch them
1.
around. Yeah. It's always good when you jump to a different part of the movie. Or
Now, Big Brother's involved in everything. Is there, when the hard drive system that you're running, does it count views? Does it a number of plays? I mean,
yeah. What it is, basically between I think it's like 8 a.m. to 11 o'clock at night. As long as I have a show scheduled, and it plays at that time, nothing happens.
Okay.
From 11 o'clock until 8 in the morning, if we ever play it and it's not scheduled, it records.
Okay.
And then we have to explain why we played it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, so they're watching.
Yeah, because it's all computer-based. It's the information, like every play and how long we've played it for gets sent to our corporate office, and it gets sent to the studios.
Yeah. Now, how often have you had a corrupted drive?
I think, so we've been in digital about 8 years. I think I've had like 3. And it was like the minute I plugged it in, I knew it was
so
corrupted.
it came crapped up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never actually had any content freeze up while playing it. Once
like in the middle of the screening or whatever.
Yeah, once it's ingested and it initially plays, everything runs fine.
Gotcha. Well, we mentioned it earlier, and it's kind of a strange thing to have on Las Vegas Boulevard. So you've had dwindling numbers.
Yes.
And so there's no street level signage anymore.
No, not really.
I don't even know that. Did you know that?
There's like nothing really. You just kind of go down the alleyway.
Right.
Yeah, because we got a marquee board right outside Coca-Cola World, but it's nothing really big.
Right.
Okay. We have a really nice sign about a half block down MGM Road by Denny's, but there's no real, hey, this is movie theater, go this way signage.
Right. Okay.
So.
But first run films. I mean,
we got Mummy this week and Wonder Woman last week. Yeah, we've run first run of films. It really just depends on the product because we're getting All Eyes on Me in a couple weeks, and it's the Tupac movie. He died a couple blocks from where that theater is
exactly.
at.
Yes,
and I've already got a bunch of tickets pre-sold to that one.
Nice.
And that's a rarity for me because it's all tourists, so I don't really do event sales.
See, you know what? That's a perfect example of something that you could have internal advertising. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Just let everybody know, man.
Man, this was right.
Yeah.
It's right outside.
In fact, absolutely, you could get entertainers or whatever and have Tupac right where he died.
Yeah.
We have those entertainers. I have agents that have Tupac, impersonators. Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. Come on, Randy. You gotta do this. All right, we won't. We'll talk about more fun things because we all want the theater to stay there.
Thrive,
thrive and stay there. But I think you're right. I think somebody's going to have to stick a crowbar in their wallet and get going.
Fork out some money.
Yeah, but I didn't see this, Adam. Marvel, DC.
Yeah, you did. I gotta ask everybody this.
Well, you're wearing Batman.
Yeah, I've always I got a Batman belt. I got my feet tattooed with Batman. I think
you got tattoos everywhere. What is on your arm? The underneath. Man, that had a sting.
Yeah,
Shit.
it hurt the entire time he did it.
Yeah.
There was never a part where I was like, oh, this is okay.
Now, do you have a reciprocal one on the other side?
I do not.
You do not.
Yeah.
And if I may ask, I didn't see what it said.
Never forget why you started.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yeah,
and
Randy's
you have
all tatted up. She got Walking Dead. She got Mario.
Yeah.
Anyone you regret?
I got one done in Tucson.
Yeah.
And it's terrible.
Oh, you regret it because it's a bad tattoo.
Ever.
Yeah, it was like because it's film reels, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. But the artist was terrible.
Yeah.
Advice: never go to Tucson.
Don't ever go to Tucson.
It's where dreams go to die.
It's a terrible town.
Yeah, it's terrible. It really is.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing there.
First time I went to Tucson, it was for Model UN.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Why in Tucson?
That's where they had it. I don't know.
It's really cheap.
They had a Waffle House.
So DC over Marvel? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, DC over Marvel.
Why?
Because DC's got. I feel their movies are kind of hit or miss, but their animated movies are on point.
Yeah.
The comic books I just find more enjoyable because there's not 17 different characters.
Okay.
For one comic book, and
or 17 different versions of the same comic book.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you got like 4 different Spider-Mans right now. Original Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and then Doc Ock. We
don't talk about the 38 Spider-Mans. Adam gets very upset. You can see already.
Yeah.
I like all of them except for the Doc Ock one. You can. Anyway. Yeah, but you liked Batman vs Superman, right?
I did like Batman vs Superman. I know I'm in the minority on that one, but I also feel if the director's version was released in theaters, I think it would have got better reception for it. I think what was in theaters, is not as good as it could have been.
Well, it was already 2 hours and 40 minutes.
That's the thing. The director's cut is 3 hours, and they rarely put a 3-hour movie out in theaters anymore.
Right.
I mean, I loved every second of it. I would have watched the 3-hour version in theaters, but that's just me. I'm on the minority there too, I guess.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and Suicide Squad the same way. It got a lot of bad press, but if you read any of the Suicide comics, you're not really going there for an in-depth story. You're going for a bunch of bad guys killing a bunch of people, trying to pretend that they're
trying
good.
to be funny about it.
Yeah, and so it was what it was, and to try to put any more meaning into it is.
You're just reaching for that.
Yeah, it's just reaching at that point just to make it bad.
Yeah, and I think, unfortunately, nowadays when you look at, for example, you take a film like Batman vs. Superman, and you look at the IMDb, and used to be there were 4 reviewers, 2 of which were on the same show. Roger Ebert and the other, Gene Siskel. Now, everybody and their brother, they have a critic review, they have a watcher's review, they have all these reviews. And it ruins it. I don't even look anymore. I look to see what a definition is, or maybe I don't know this particular character, or are they really saying Jason Momoa is a good Aquaman? But I don't care what they think about the film. No. Now Adam's gonna kill me, but the other night, in spite of Adam, I watched the second Turtles movie. Yeah. And it wasn't bad. Now, it wasn't bad in my own house, watching it, and I enjoyed it. Megan Fox was fine. She's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, but I don't know. I won't get into Turtles.
I didn't watch the second Turtles because it took me 3 different times to watch the first movie. And I think if it was called Megan Fox and her asthma, it probably would have been a better movie.
And Thad Castle is a turtle. So,
well, that's great. Like I said about this, the Turtles were all awesome. Every other actor in that movie, terrible.
Yeah.
including Megan Fox. I don't care.
Well, and Will Arnett he was not good.
That's what I'm saying. Like all these are cheesy one-liners. Terrible.
All right, go ahead. Ask her. Ask her here, right here.
Okay. Did you watch Lost?
Lost?
Yeah.
I watched the very last episode.
There you go. That's all you needed to watch.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I didn't commit any time to this show, and I was pissed at the end of that episod.
Yeah, but why did you watch the last one?
Was
it a group thing?
Yeah, it was a group
thing.
Like,
we're gonna watch.
Yeah, but how pissed would have you been if you'd have spent however many?
I think it was only like 6 seasons.
That's 6 years of your life there. I would have been super pissed. At that point, I was confused, and then I was a little upset.
I bet you were after watching the last episode.
Right.
But if I put 6 years into that show and that's how it ended, I would have been pissed.
Yeah.
That was the same thing with Dexter. I watched it, loved Dexter. That last season pissed me off so bad.
Yeah, I didn't watch the last season.
I did.
Don't.
Don't.
Just skip it.
It was. You're right. Yeah. They went a direction that I think they didn't have to. I don't know why they went that way. So
yeah, there's no
when he had
reason
his
for
kid,
it.
right? That was the last season when he was kind of really.
Yeah.
Yes.
He sort of. He never watched his own child.
But he had the kid.
He had the kid. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Well, the big games on the particular program. What platform do you play games on?
Mostly Xbox.
Mostly Xbox.
Yeah, I have a Wii U and a PS4, but I'm mostly an Xbox kid.
Okay.
What did you get that Wii U for, Randy?
A Deadpool poster, actually.
Nice.
Yes.
She trades movie posters out for all these kinds of free shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, I got the PS4 and like 4 games for like 5 posters.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a good hookup.
Am I going to have to cut this off the podcast?
I don't tell any names.
They were your posters.
They were my posters. The movies were already out at that point.
Excellent.
Yeah.
But so what are your favorite kind of games? Because we differ here
a little bit.
Vastly. So.
It really depends. Like, obviously, I played all the Batman games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obsessed with the Mass Effect series, even the new one, even with all the crap that it's getting.
We can bring that up.
It did not get good reviews at this table.
It did not.
No.
It did not get good reviews most places, but I enjoyed it.
You sludged through it until it updated itself, and then it was better.
Yeah, it was a lot better after that one update, but I didn't really find a whole lot of issues with it prior to that. Yeah, some of the animation on it was off, and the fact that you couldn't skip between planets.
I think this is my problem with like going into school of game design. Like, now I know the behind the scenes of all the games and stuff like that, so I know what what it takes to do that stuff, and like really can tell like the bad stuff, like the bad animations. I will notice that, whereas maybe you won't. You can kind of bypass that.
Yeah, because I don't know the mechanics behind it, and but they spent way less money making that game over, even Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 1.
Now, has the same company rolled through all the Mass Effects? It's the same.
Yeah, it's the same producer. It's just different people were working on the storyline.
Because like Call of Duty, Adam shared with me that they kind of handed that around. I mean, it was like, you try it. Okay.
That one they just choose and pick. But they've had the same group for the original trilogy and then this one.
Okay.
So.
All right.
But I enjoyed it. I think last I checked, I was like 90 hours in, and like 75% through the game.
Wow. So you could be on the other side of it. You could get a Twitch account and have people watch you play.
Yeah.
She's probably pretty good at it at this point, 90 hours in.
Although
there's a lot of extra stuff.
Just that idea is creepy to me.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of dudes just watching me play games. Let's go back to movies a little bit. What do you know? Now, as far as the theater experience, where do you see the future of movie watching? Do you think theaters are the dinosaur?
Unfortunately, I think so. Just because nowadays you can just you wait 2 weeks and you can pirate it offline at this point. Mm-hmm. And that's why we're advancing. We're doing the recliners, we're doing the expanded food, we're doing we have a few across the because a few across the country are going the way of Alamo Drafthouse, where you got at seat service. You don't even stand in the concession line. You just order from your seat.
Yeah.
And it's to get that in-home experience, but at the theater. And I prefer watching movies at the theater just because it's more immersed. Like when I'm at home, I got my phone, I got my dog next to me. I'm not immersed in the movie. But if I go to a theater, I'm not spending money, but I'm spending money to sit in a theater.
You're more focused.
Yeah, to be more immersed in that experience for those 2 hours. And you can't really beat that being at home. Because at home, there's always those outside distractions. You're not going to ignore your phone for 2 hours at home.
No, but I'll ask you 2 questions. Do you think that having craft beer and mixology and artisanal food is going to bring people? But more to the point, once they're served, it goes dark and quiet.
Yeah.
And see that's where I think there's a dichotomy in saving it with those items. Most people that are going for the food and the beer and the this and the that, they're not wanting to then be quiet and not interact and be social. Yeah,
they want to talk to the person they're next to, and that's what I like about my theater, because we're older. We have sloped seating, And then we have like the basic staples at concessions. So really, when you're coming to my theater, you're coming
for the movie.
To see that movie and get that experience.
Okay.
Because like when you go to another theater, like I went and saw Mummy last night at another theater, and it was just there's more people in there, but they weren't all immersed. They're having like conversations behind you and stuff like that, and
getting drunk, snacking on their food.
And that's the problem we have is just as a society we're not used to doing things by ourselves anymore. It's got to be a social event, so then you want to talk to everyone.
Right.
And
Bust your phone out, take a video.
Yeah, people are constantly like, I have to go in and tell people to put their phones away because I'm like, you're spending $12 on a movie, watch the movie. Don't if you want to play on your phone, then just take your phone out in the hallway.
Well, I mean, do you ever see the theaters just letting that go, being okay with it, because the phones now are they're our lives, they're part of our lives? Do you ever see just saying, oh, forget it?
I don't think so, because there are still those purists that they don't want this giant bright light 3 rows ahead of them when they're trying to watch a movie.
I agree,
and they still have those things at the beginning of the movie. Put your cell phones away.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's never going to be that way, and mostly it's just from pirating. It's on your phone now you can.
Sure.
You can do everything. You can.
Yeah.
And so it'll never be something we're going to be okay with and get rid of.
Now, the guys with the lasers, you should grab it and shove it in their ass for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I don't know about those phones. It's tough. All right, now, give me some dirt. We're talking about the theater business, and generally it's just like any other business. So you're on Las Vegas Boulevard. Yeah. You're a stone's throw away from one of the hubs of the planet.
Yes.
Give me a couple stories.
Oh.
To anything. This is an explicit podcast. You can say whatever you want.
Now she's worked at what, 3 different theaters?
Yeah, this was my third theater.
Okay. So yeah, I'm sure there's got to be some homeless people on the strip or.
Oh yeah, we have a few homeless regulars that I swear they actually have more money than I do. And I get that they're carrying everything with them, but like seriously, if you're rolling off hundreds to pay for a movie ticket, why don't you get a shower?
Okay.
Yeah, we have a one regular homeless guy. He comes in, buys his ticket, buys some food, but then immediately falls asleep, and then I have to wake him up every single time.
So that's not allowed?
You can sleep during the movie, that's fine.
Yeah,
but as soon as your movie's
you're
gone.
You mean on post film?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Yeah. If you want to pay $12 to sleep, that's fine.
Does he grouse about it, or he gets out and go? He goes away.
It depends, because there's something wrong with this guy. So some days he gets really angry at us for waking him up, and then some days he just grabs his stuff and goes.
Really?
So it's always like 3 seats away, slamming the seat, because you're like, you don't know if he's gonna lash out or if he's gonna just wake up peacefully.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. I've had to deal with a few of those guys at the Palms too.
Yeah.
They would just come in and buy a ticket just so they could hang out.
Yeah.
Sleep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, what else? Give me the craziest thing you've dealt with as a theater manager on Las Vegas Boulevard.
On Las Vegas Boulevard.
Yeah. Is there a Las Vegas themed problem? Is there something that the nation needs to know? When they come to Vegas and if they go to film at your place, they need to be aware that this could happen.
There's gonna be a lot of drunk people. A lot of drunk people believe the movies talk back to them.
Okay.
Yeah, the Get Out actually was one of the most.
Oh, Get Out. Okay, yeah. Okay. I forgot about that.
Like I've had going in to do theater checks. There's people like up clapping and screaming at the screen because something happened, and
nice.
I've never had that immersive a crowd.
Interesting.
Really?
In a movie.
Have you seen that movie?
I have. It's a really
That's
good movie.
I've heard it's good.
Yeah, it's one of the best movies this year.
So now is that problem? We'll call it a problem. Is that problem cross cultural, or is it like you've always heard about the black audiences? They love to talk about it.
Yeah,
talk to the film and
they're an immersed crowd. They love to talk to the film. Like you go into like any, we'll say Captain or Sully. There's a bigger older white crowd.
Right.
And they're very much. We sit here, we watch the movie, we stay quiet, and then we talk 40 minutes about it out in the lobby and ruin the movie for everyone else.
Sure.
But yeah, the more, we'll say urban movies.
Okay.
They're a little bit more animated during the movie.
Yeah. Yes.
And they want to talk about it. And then they want to talk about how they feel after the movie.
Yeah.
And it's a different experience.
So it's just like individuals screaming at the film and reacting. It's not like a full-on Rocky Horror where they're helping out the actors.
No, yeah, it's just individual. Something happens. without ruining anything with Get Out. I know it's been a few months, but there's one part of the scene, towards the end of the movie that's a big comeuppance for everyone. And these. Yeah, I had a showing, about 60 people in there, and they were all like screaming,
ready to riot and stuff,
clapping, thinking it was amazing. And
really?
I was like, I don't really get that very often, because I think clapping during movies, at any point during a movie, makes no sense.
Okay.
Like we had Seabiscuit, and people clapped at the end of that movie. And
I'm like, won.
Well.
I'm like, okay, A, it's a true story, so you already knew what happened.
Yes.
B, the people on screen do not know
Can't
you're
hear
clapping.
you.
Well, now I have to correct you on the first one. The public in the U.S. doesn't know anything about anything. You'd be amazed. I bet you 3 people don't know what happens at Titanic.
Yeah. Well,
out of 10.
And that's the thing that confuses me.
Point.
People go into movies and they're
totally oblivious.
they're totally oblivious to stuff that happens.
Like the rated R movies you get the parents to bring their kids to, and they're like, "Did you do no research on this movie?"
Yeah.
Like Deadpool.
Yeah.
Then they're offended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they come out and they're like,
parents.
"Why didn't you tell me this movie was rated R?"
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to tell people a lot of that. We're like, this is a rated R movie, and it's really rated R.
Yeah.
So
And they're
Not
like,
a superhero movie.
they're fine.
Kinda
Awesome.
are.
They're like, "Oh, they've watched all these movies before."
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Then they
Okay.
complain and ask for their re-ad ticket or
exactly.
their free their money back. Now your demographic. I meant to ask that earlier. Demographic at the theater on Las Vegas Boulevard is. See, I envision. Well, like you said, I envision this massive drunken debaucherous people. But I mean, do you have a hipster crowd? I mean, is it old folks that are? What is it?
It depends on the movie and then the crowd.
Uh-huh.
Like for the last couple of weeks with Wonder Woman, it's been more female oriented. But then like with the new All Eyes on Me coming out, it's going to be a completely different crowd than what
Well,
Wonder
you have
Woman
so many
was.
different people around you on the strip. It just kind of brings in that kind of specific crowd for each movie.
It does bring in that specific crowd. So
Okay.
it really depends on what movie we're showing and then what events are happening in town.
Okay.
Like for Guardians of the Galaxy, it was on Cinco de Mayo, and then the next day was a big fight between two Mexican fighters.
Right.
So that was a different crowd than what we usually get.
Yeah,
that I would think would come in to see a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Especially from the past.
Yeah. That would be an odd demographic for Chris Pratt. Anybody getting a little amorous in the theater?
Yeah. I recently actually I'm pretty sure I ruined this little girl's life. She had come in with her boyfriend, and I was keeping an eye on them because they were already in the lobby making out. And so I ended up having to kick him out because his pants were not where they needed to be. And
were they in the room?
Yeah. When the mom came in and asked why I kicked them out, she's like, she's 16. And I was like, well, I'm sorry.
You should know that they were about to get it on.
Yeah. I was like, you should know that this is why I'm kicking them out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Then mom had to come and pick him up?
Yeah. Yeah, she had to come pick him up. I felt kind of bad for a minute there, but I was just like, yeah, you can't do that.
You sound as if you were diplomatic. You don't need to be diplomatic. You just say it straight out.
No, seriously, kicking people out is like one of the best jobs that the movie theater can offer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my employees for some reason don't want to do it. They always come to get me, and I'm like, that's fine.
I would grab Sam because he's 6'6", and he would come, as my backup, my bodyguard or whatever.
Yeah,
and then they couldn't say anything, against me. Hey, you get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I need to start bringing backup.
Yeah.
I've been threatened to be stabbed like twice since I've been there.
Really?
That's probably not
stabbed,
good.
huh?
Stabbed. Yeah, I'm pretty certain I'm gonna get stabbed by the end of the year.
Nice.
So.
Okay. Well, it's nice knowing you.
Yeah, I mean, they tell me to have goals in life, so I figure why not have that one.
You better
wow.
be strapped, I guess. I don't know.
See, the best one I ever saw was a guy I worked with. His name was Jim. And Jim was an old Chicago guy, Joliet in Chicago. And not the prison, just the town. And he did the best thing. What the problem was, a laser guy or a phone guy or whatever guy, he would shut that shit off and get the audience on him.
Oh,
like, I'm not turning this back on until Chester over there starts with a laser.
See,
man.
that would work for digital films. You can stop and start at the same spot.
Yeah.
But when it's film, you can actually skip a part of the movie.
Oh,
so I can imagine the audience would be pretty pissed off if they had to stop the film.
You want to talk immediate mob mentality.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
man,
of
it's
course.
over. Yeah, that was fantastic. All right, well, Randee, that was great. I appreciate that. I didn't know a lot of that, so that's great information. Sure. Now, we're going to go to something, considering we ended with that, we're going to go to something that Adam introduced to the show called the Gear Grinders. Mainly
We're
for
all
me.
pissed off at something.
Yeah, mainly for me because everything irritates me.
Yeah. I knew Jamey would have a field day.
Yeah, completely. I love doing this every time. This is actually from Julia, a friend of the show. Hi, Julia. She texted me and she said, this is a perfect one, and I agree. Why can't we just buy our items, whether we're at the grocery store, we're at the wherever we're buying stuff, at the clothing store, Old Navy. Do you shop at Old Navy?
Not anymore.
I don't know why I said that.
I don't know. Never used to anymore.
Why we can't just buy our items and not have to join some type of point club?
Sure.
Everywhere I go, in fact, during in the past week, Adam and the crew and I, we were filming and photographing over at JCK at Mandalay Bay. And every morning I would go buy a sandwich, and every morning I would have to say, no, I don't want to join the Vons Club. And I agree with that.
You don't want another card in your wallet?
I want nothing.
Punch card?
I want nothing. It's
why
like
don't you get the app, bro?
Exactly. and nowadays it's literally like a video game trying to check out of a grocery store.
Absolutely.
Well, we offer a card, so I'm on the other end of having to ask everyone if they want that card.
Well, if you offer. I'll speak directly to Regal, not Randee, because Randee's just just the figurehead. But if you offer a quick reward, where you don't have to go see 47 movies to get one movie. If you offer something quick and you offer a continual reward process, like, hey, I didn't even know I got a free popcorn, great, or hey, I went 10 times and got this movie. If I'm going to go 10 times. So as long as you offer enough reward and a quick enough reward, okay.
Well, yeah,
and yours are a movie. They're fun.
Yeah, we revamped our program recently, and so you get bonus points for signing up with the Regal app. You get half off popcorn and candy on Mondays and Tuesdays. You only have to see like 2 movies to get something for free. Oh, so it's a lot. The program has changed drastically recently, and it's better. But I'm also, 90% of my clientele is from another country, and we're not in other countries yet. So I'm constantly asking people from Germany if they want one of my cards, and they just kind of glare at me.
We're not from here.
Well, and the other situation is that everybody and their brother, and please don't tell me you're doing this, it has their own credit card.
Oh, no.
You want to sign up for the card?
Yeah.
For the Walmart card?
Oh, yeah.
No, the Waltons have plenty of my money. I don't need their credit card.
Or the Fry's credit card. They hit me with that every
Fry's
time I go
credit card. Yeah, Fry's credit card. And
I could spend $100 every time I go in the store. But
or the people that attack you I travel a great deal, and the people that attack you in the airport and throw T-shirts at you and come sign up for a card. No, I'm not signing up for any cards. Credit has ruined this country, and I don't need any more cards. but other than Randee's movie thing, everything, all the point clubs need to stop.
I agree.
It's just
I
nonsense.
Had way too many casino club cards in my wallet at one point.
Oh, exactly. Oh, yeah. I don't know if for those of you again who aren't from Las Vegas or have never visited or want to come and don't know about it, they have membership cards, players club cards they call them, and where you stick them into the slot machine and they add
track
up
your points,
track your points, track your dollars, track you. Don't
track everything.
Don't kid yourself. Big Brother's watching. And then you can get little tiny things like you can get a pen. For the last $1,000 you spent.
If you play $1,000, you might get a free buffet.
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
But it's not good. It's just a way to track, and good Lord, the data they acquire is just amazing.
No doubt.
Amazing.
I'm sure they sell all that.
Yeah, I'm going to do some research on that and bring that to the studio. I want to talk about that for sure. Secondly, and this deals with everybody. Randee, I'm sure you've dealt with this. You deal in a corporate world still, with
yes.
Regal. Read and answer the whole goddamn email. and I wrote this. It's right here. The whole goddamn email. I recently here's what I've had recently.
Nobody reads.
Because now my position is a production company and a photographer and a filmmaker. I will send an email to a client with upwards of 5 to 10 questions, to which they answer yes. None of the 10 questions were a yes or no question. So yes. So read the whole email, and I had another one, and it was actually very nice. It was very funny. One of my clients over at the Cosmopolitan, great place, great bunch of folks over there. She wrote to me. I sent an invoice in, and she said, "You need to change the date for this invoice to 11/10/17. Well, I had come off, our big job, and I looked at the invoice and it said 11/10/17, and so many times I've sent it back and very nicely said, I know I'm tired, and I may be crazy, but I believe this says 11/10/17. Now, this young lady wrote back. She said, nope, I must be tired too. You're correct. I have had people lose their minds on me. But then...
That was the calm answer?
Yeah, but then I catch them because they don't review the email. They're just telling me I'm wrong without actually looking at the email.
The original.
Yeah. And I'll tell them in an email, Adam is going to be there for, a pre-convention meeting at this time. And then they're yelling at me, where's Adam? And I'm like, well, he'll be there at 6. And they're yelling at me at 4. Read the whole email, folks. And I'm sure you've seen it, Randee.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I'm not going to have you call out the people at Regal.
I just imagine that corporate
anything
my job. Is slow on the uptake, and the emails back and forth are
or too many emails.
Slow.
Yeah,
that's the other one, right?
Yeah.
Meetings for meetings.
I'm telling you,
I don't need meetings for meetings.
Yeah. I'm telling you, we're heading for the big hack.
The Y2K.
It's gonna Y2K. No,
still waiting on that one.
Our watches will be fine. No, we're gonna head for a big hack. We're Elon Musk, I think, is going the wrong direction. The machines are going to take over. The machines are going to shut off, and we're going to go back to Costner's
Stone Age.
The Postman.
Did you ever watch that? There was a show on TV where all the power went out, and it was current times, and they had to try and get the power back on. God, you remember what that was?
I don't remember.
It was only on for 3 seasons. It was a few years back.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. I know the show. I just don't.
Yeah, I can't think what
I remember watching.
But anyway, it was a show. It was pretty clever because that could totally happen.
Oh, absolutely, it could happen. And the interesting thing, I've watched shows like this, apocalyptic things and so on and so forth, where it's not zombies, we're just out of, we're just SOL. And it's interesting what they bring up. It's like we need to find somebody that knows how to make a this. It's just like, well, we don't need the dude that just designed the cell phone. We don't need it. We don't need the guy from LG. We need the guy that knows how to shoe a horse, and things of that nature. And I don't want the survivalists and the what do they call them, doomsday people to be right, but boy, they're going to be right. They are going to have the water and the food, and all the idiots taking the selfies are going to be out there wondering what the hell happened.
Well, it's survival of the fittest at that point. And all these weenies are going to...
Well, that's the problem we're running into now. Nobody wants to go into trades anymore.
Yeah.
They're going to school for communications degrees.
Yeah.
And art degrees.
Yeah.
And I'm like, once the world goes to shit, we're not gonna have somebody that can build a house anymore.
No, and even
but we can have people that can talk to each other.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
wonderfully.
can build you a website about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's I watch HGTV, or I used to, and there's a guy there. He's actually originally from Canada, but his name's Mike Holmes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's his point. He grabs kids when they're at the impressionable age and says, "Hey, man, when you want to be a plumber, a photographer,
don't do it,
a carpenter, and everything else, you're absolutely right."
Yeah.
And communications, we don't need that either because we're not communicating with each other.
No, not at all.
We're not talking at all. This is a rarity. Podcast.
Right. Like we said, we didn't even have to be in the same room.
Yeah, exactly. I could have had everybody call in. I could be naked, getting something out of their freezer.
You could have a hula hoop and
a hula hoop, exactly, and exactly. All right. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate that too. Movies. I've now one. I'm going to ask a big question to Randee, which I forgot to ask during the movie theater stuff. But I saw Big Tom Cruise. And apparently David Miscavige and the Scientology people have approved another Top Gun.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. No, but Jerry Bruckheimer. Again, Jerry Bruckheimer, Big JB.
Yeah. He signed off on it?
He has not. Well, it's not just signed off. It's done.
Yeah, the
script is done. It's a go.
The script is done.
He announced it on Mr. Fallon's show the other night.
Yes.
Vehemently, he said it's a go. And I got to say, I'm kind of excited. Now, obviously, some people can't be in it. Anthony Edwards, dead. Meg Ryan looks horrendous.
Almost dead.
Nobody's hiring her.
No, but Val Kilmer's going to be in it, right?
I don't. I did.
heard
I couldn't.
Iceman's gonna be in it.
Couldn't find. I couldn't find anything mentioning him. Now Val's a little off to the left. I don't know when.
Well, he's gonna have to shape up a little bit.
Yeah.
But,
No, they're not the thin, sweaty guys in the locker room anymore.
I haven't seen Val in the movie in quite some time.
I gotta say though,
he does a lot of direct-to-DVD.
he does
terrible.
where
movies.
he's a private investigator or something.
Right.
Yeah. But I gotta say, I have to hand it to him. Tom Cruise is only slightly older than I am. Man, he looks
still
good.
going. He's still
He
going.
looks damn good. And he's got American Made coming out. About the
he is always working on something.
Narcotics pilot and the CIA pilot. But Top Gun was now my generation. That everybody's loved it, of course, and seen it. But that was a big deal. I saw that in the theater, and it was huge. And it was when Bruckheimer was still with his partner producer Don Simpson before he passed away. I'm thrilled. I think it's great.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had actually for a while there at Fiesta, we're doing Flashback Tuesdays where we'd play the older films.
Okay.
And so I actually got to build Top Gun and play it.
Nice.
And that was one of the highlights of my career because that was a movie that was before I was born, and then that gets out on screen. It was amazing.
Was it sold out?
No, it was not sold out for being $6 too. But it was amazing to see.
I would have went and see that in the theater.
Yeah, that print was so old. It was so dirty.
Was it like a legit print from back then?
Yeah, it was legit.
Really?
It was one of the ones they had to take it out of storage and send it to us.
That would have been sweet.
Yeah.
How scratchy was it?
Super scratchy. Super no amount of film guard was going to fix that.
That's funny. That's great though. But I think it's going to be great. That's all he said. Tom's real good about his press tours, and he waited specifically for Fallon, I'm sure, but he didn't say anything else about it. But he said it's a go. Script is done, but he didn't say when pre and post production would go through. But I think that's really cool. But
I like it. I like Tom Cruise. I always have.
Oh yeah. Now I've not heard good things about The Mummy. I've not seen it yet, but we'll talk about it when I have.
Yeah, actually, Randee saw it.
Yeah, I saw it last night. It's not very good.
It's not very good.
Yeah, the only good part was Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
For Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Okay. Now you saw. I know that they love to say this is a series of films. The classic monster films, but you can't. I have to put Brendan Fraser's.
Mummy movies.
This one's actually.
I love those.
Yeah, it's there is
They're
a
great.
small connection during the movie that unless if you have seen the first movie a bunch of times, you'll see the small connection between the two.
Right.
But it's just a sight.
Interesting.
It's a sight gag.
Okay.
Just to say, hey.
Okay.
Yeah. At one point, a book from the first movie is in this movie, and it's used prominently, but it's. Yeah. If you haven't watched the movie enough, you're not going to catch it.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
But I love a good archaeologist film.
Now,
yeah.
Let me ask you this: they were supposed to bring this back to like these old horror storylines. Is this scary at all?
Not at all.
Is this more of an action Tom Cruise movie?
It's an action Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking they're referencing the one that was made back in the 60s, and the old school Mummy one is where they're trying to go with it, and it's not scary. There's a lot of action that's going on, and
now we seem to bag on films a lot here, and I'm actually a great film watcher. I love shows, I love films, and I love them, and I often disagree with Adam, but I don't have the heart to say anything.
Batman vs Superman was good,
but as far as the production value of the film, it's a good film, right?
it's shot well, and it's acting is very sketchy in certain aspects of it, but from a technical standpoint, it's a good movie. But from like content standpoint, I wouldn't sit through it again.
Now, the only bit of trivia I have about The Mummy, which is very interesting, I made that little quip about Scientology. This was the first time where Tom Cruise asked his Scientology reps who were already around him to not be around him during the creative process of the film. And it caused it was a big deal. And a lot of people think that this might be the first step.
Yeah. Separating from it?
Because Tom's the torpedo that's going to sink that thing.
Oh, yeah.
I love Leah Remini. I think she's great. I think she's, and more power to her, but she's not going to do it. Tom's going to do it.
Yeah, her TV specials aren't going to cut it.
No. But yeah, that's interesting.
Scientology TV specials?
Yeah, she's got A&E.
Oh, yeah.
She's got Liam Ramis.
After the...
it's like after Scientology.
The Aftermath.
Yeah, and
it's called
like
The Aftermath.
it's everybody that's like been kicked out or left do interviews about why they got kicked out or left.
But it's a continuation in real time of the HBO documentary, which is fantastic, called Going Clear. And if you ever want to watch something that's just
gonna blow your mind.
Yeah, I mean, you watch it with your mouth open the entire like, no
people
way,
actually believe this
people
stuff.
are buying this shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Tom's gonna be the one. But I'm like Adam said, he's a great draw. I mean, even if it's bad films, they're fun to watch. But it's Top Gun too.
Yeah,
Good God, I mean,
I love all the Mission Impossibles. You think maybe it was Tom's fault this movie's not producing?
No, I think it's just bad content. I think anybody had been in that part.
Just a terrible script. Huh?
Yeah, it's just terrible script.
Just
it's
a
very
bad script.
disconjointed.
That's terrible.
You know.
I like to hear that.
All right. Yeah. Now, Wonder Woman. I've not seen it. I'm a bad guy because I don't see a lot of films, Randee, because unfortunately you invite other people in the theater when I'm trying to see it.
Yeah.
See, he's the home theater guy. He's the one. He's the competition of.
Well, I mean, if you want to buy out an entire theater, you can have it by yourself.
Yeah, and okay, I can absolutely do that. But Wonder Woman, what do you think about the all-female viewing audiences? What do you think about that?
So when I first heard about it, I thought it was a good business sense. I mean, they sold it out within hours and added a second show. And then, of course, the men got their panties in a bunch and are now pissed.
Why? What men? None of the guys I know.
And that's what I'm saying. Well, the Twitterverse is amazing on these things. There was actually even one I read not too long ago where a guy emailed the mayor of Austin about it and how he was going to boycott Austin altogether because it's ridiculous that the town would let that happen.
Right, man.
And the mayor's response was just amazing. Was just basically. Was like,
bye-bye.
I'm sorry that your email got hacked. You should probably look into that because this man is vile.
Good word.
As a business sense, it's an amazing idea that they came up with because they went all out. It was the ushers, the concessionists, the box people. Everybody was female that was working. People that started the movie, everything, and the thing was it wasn't an early showing. It was like midweek after the movie had already been out. Yeah. So they're getting mad about things that had no bearing.
Now, I saw one in Washington. I read an article. I knew about the Austin one.
Yeah.
And I think that was like the one that got its notoriety.
Yes, that was the first. It was the first one, and then everybody basically picked it off of Alamo's Drafthouse idea.
Yeah. Now in Washington State, they had one, and the same concept, like you said, ushers and the manager and everybody. I mean, but it was billed loosely as the just the L community.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was very popular. It was great. They all came out in droves. Well, who got upset? The G community.
Yeah.
And all the gay dudes they went nuts. They're like, well,
how come I didn't get the invite?
Yeah, what? Yeah, and I just don't understand why our communities can't let another community or anybody for that matter watch a film. Good God, people!
Just pissed off about everything.
Well, it's because they're being excluded, and that's their biggest gripe is they're like, oh, women want equality, but now they're doing women only screenings. Yeah. I'm like, well, really, is it that big of a deal?
Well, I would ask them. Okay, it was on a Wednesday, like you said, it wasn't on a prime time, and I would say, do you want to see Wonder Woman? And then wait for the answer. Do you want to see it Wednesday? Or did you want to see it Wednesday?
Yeah.
Then why do you care?
Yeah, why do you care? I could sort of understand if maybe they saw it a day early before everyone else.
Yeah.
I could get being upset. I would be more upset that they got to see it a day early than everybody else. But the movie had been out for 5 days. There was multiple shows that anyone could come see. And now they're like demanding. They're like, are you going to do
a male-only show?
Male-only showing of Thor. And I'm like, well, no, that's retarded.
Yeah. And see, I have to go to, the United States is on the brink of an impeachment of our president. London's being bombed and stabbed into the netherworld. And we're worried about one showing of Wonder Woman.
Yeah, one showing of a movie that you could have seen multiple times prior to this one show.
Exactly. All right. Well, we'll stop yelling then. Randee, we have a thing called Area 52 on the podcast, and we talk about some interesting things about Las Vegas. Again, more stuff that people don't know. I found a really good one if you like mob stuff. Las Vegas is always depicted in films as having the Black Book. and it's real. It's been real since the 60s. The Black Book was always a book that was people that were individuals of notorious and unsavory reputation were placed in this book, and if you make it in, if you even step foot in the casino, you're looking at possible 1 year in jail. The casino itself looks at the loss of their license, which of course is death.
Oh, yeah.
And it's virtually impossible to get your name off since the 60s. Now, the research that I did, I thought it was kind of funny. The guy that wrote the article, he said it's actually a lovely gray binder now. It's no longer a black book. But it is at the Nevada Gaming Commission. It is real. It maintains about roughly 66 people, most of which are card cheats and slot cheats. But the coolest story I found about the Black Book, is Frank Sinatra had an interest, large interest, in his Northern Nevada casino. And he allowed the mob boss, Sam Giancana, the big guy back then, into the hotel. And that was it. Giancana got in the book. He's still in the book, although he's dead. And Sinatra had to forfeit his license. Even Frank Sinatra.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so the Nevada Gaming Commission, it's very, very important in town. They control liquor licenses. They control gaming licenses. They really control the life of anybody who wants to open it. Adam, you recently attended the and shot over at the Lucky Dragon.
I did.
And one of their people had to be removed from the corporate charter so they could get through. They almost didn't. It was not a lucky dragon at all. It was a very unlucky dragon. So yeah, that's recently.
So these are all the people that have been like 86'd out of major casinos for cheating.
Well, the when I said notorious and unsavory reputation, that's actually the verbiage still after all these years. So they left it broad enough for the good old boys back in the day that were running the book. They could say, "Oh, that Randee, I don't know."
Put her in the list.
Yeah, she's unsavory.
It would probably be safer that way.
Yeah, right. But right now, it's for the guys that they have some older folks. I haven't looked at the entire list. In fact, maybe I can. Maybe we can bring it on the show. But it's the guys that are. There's a. Well, some people are. They have what they call. What do they call it? They call it the second black book. But it's people that are of celebrity status. That like Ricky Jay, for example. Ricky Jay is an amazing card mechanic, just astounding. But he's also a wonderful entertainer. There's been some great movies, and they would prefer that he not be near any of the tables.
Right.
And that's kind of that he's not blackballed, but they don't. And there's another guy. His first name's Apollo, and he's like the world's greatest pickpocket. And if you look on YouTube, his name's Apollo something, I can't remember. But astounding what he can do. And these people are just sort of asked, let's keep it over by the bar.
Well, I imagine that, with the facial recognition systems that casinos have now, it would be pretty obvious, if this guy walked in the door and they can pinpoint him if they have this book, obviously. Yeah. The guys from MIT and Harvard that were in the movie with Kevin Spacey, 21.
Yeah, that was
card counters.
Two of those are actually on the list.
Well, yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah, and the guys that have the wands that stick them up the slot machines and do all kind of stuff. It's
my dad actually has a collection of old like slot machine cheating tools that they used to jam in the coin slots and everything. Yeah.
Now something you don't know about Adam, folks, along with having the background of being a Las Vegas dealer, which is unsavory enough, God knows. But his family is greatly involved in it. Your dad is a slot boss.
He's been a slot manager for my entire life.
Yeah, and so
some major casinos.
So we're gonna probably mine him for some stories. Maybe.
Yeah, like I said, he's got some cool stuff from back there.
Right, and his recently released brother. No, I'm kidding. His brother, I'll say his name, Kyle. He is a coder. In fact, Kyle is the exact thing you think of when you think coder. If you ever seen the HBO presentation, Silicon Valley,
yes,
right. Kyle fits in there like a glove.
Yep.
Cool dude, great guy, good coder, but what he does, he actually designs and codes slot machine
machines.
games.
So he knows all the secrets.
Yeah, he knows all the secrets.
And how they're all there to fool you into thinking you're going to win.
Well, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll talk more about that later. But hey, Randee, thank you so much for being on the show. We really appreciate it. Great
Thanks
info.
for having me.
Yeah, we'll have you back for sure.
Of course.
Without the Batman shirt though.
Yeah, that I don't
She's
think
only
I
got
own.
Batman shirts.
Yeah.
I got work shirts and Batman shirts. So.
Okay. Well, no, the Batman then for sure. we're not hawking for Regal.
Yeah, right.
But hey, thanks to everyone listening and watching. You can catch the Pod Bay Door on the Podbean app or any of your favorite podcast apps, including iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, and Stitcher Radio. You can watch the show on our YouTube channel at the Pod Bay Door Podcast. Please download, like, and subscribe if you have the chance. Our social connectivity screen is coming up. Check in with us on Facebook, Twitter, and WordPress. The Pod Bay Door is closed and talent is out.
See you later.
Later.
Hey everybody, thank you very much for tuning into the show. We would love to hear your show suggestions and comments. If you are watching on our YouTube channel, please click to subscribe. You can also connect with us on Facebook using @PBD Podcast, on Twitter using @TPBD Podcast, and on WordPress at thepodbaydoor.wordpress.com.